Eyup cock, it is EFL review time, baby. Couple ends of these tables are hotting up, like big time. Like this championship playoff race is seriously stepping up a notch and I'm enjoying it. And to be fair, one of these, the first game they're looking at here, Oxford, Bristol City, one of these might get in. Honestly, one of these could definitely get in. And it ain't Bristol City. Where are Oxford now? Oxford are in 16th. Alright, maybe they're a bit far off. Maybe I was being a bit ridiculous there. 7 points though, from 16th to 6th. It's not, is it? Bristol City, I knew that because a win would have taken them in, that they wouldn't win. I think I went for an Oxford 2-1 on my prediction video. I can't remember. I definitely went for something like along them lines. I didn't have Oxford to lose, but it's just the same story, Bristol City, innit? It's the same story all the time. That they're just never allowed in, have they? Obviously, they had a lot to deal with this game. Williams got sent off in first out, but then they went down to 9 in 86. I'm surprised then, especially like Bradshaw coming on, someone that's been in this league like forever, knows where net is, didn't sort of finish his dinner with like last 5-6 minutes after this second red card. But at the end of the day, I do think this is a good point for both sides. Maybe more for Bristol City, just based on the fact that they've been playing for 10 men for over an hour. And Oxford, I mean, the run carries on, doesn't it? When did he come in? Right here? Still one loss in cup, unbeaten in league. They're so hard to beat. I know it's just cliche to say like, oh yeah, you expect that from a rower team, but you do. This is exactly what Millwall have been for the last like 3 years. They've been exactly like this. Just very hard to break down, not conceding a lot of goals, probably not winning enough games, which is the reason that Millwall never got in to playoffs with like good squads that they've had over time, Millwall. But today Oxford have just come up. They got in 6th on like last day, didn't they? They were only at players for like 5 minutes. In League One last season. The champions are 20th, second place in relegation zone. Oxford, smallest side by a mile to come up. Have spent well, they've recruited well, and they reaping rewards for it. And obviously now they've pulled themselves away enough to the point where they literally are close to playoffs and they are bottom 3. So good for them. But Bristol City, I'm not going to be too harsh on them based on the fact that they've had 10 men for the entire game, basically. Now that is a big result. That Plymouth 2, West Brom 1. It's just classic home park vibes, innit? What minute this was scored in 88th? Ryan Hardy got 2. They always score late on, always, especially at home. And maybe you want to come and say that I've wrote them off too quickly, or that people in general have wrote Plymouth off too quickly. I don't think so. I still think Plymouth are going to go down last. Like I've said, I would like them to stay up, but I just cannot see it. Their away form is worst in league. Obviously at home, I mean, they're all right at home, but it's still not best thing. I mean, yeah, they've got staying up form at home. But it's just not enough, is it? If you're just going away and you've lost every game, basically. Yeah, all right, fair enough. They've drawn the last 2, which is quite good, especially away at Sunderland. But they've only scored 5 goals in 15 games. If you're not scoring goals away, you're not going to stay up. If you're not getting any points away from home and your own form is just like mediocre, you're not going to stay up. But I don't want to take gloss off it, though, because apart from the Burnley like freak show that happened with Plymouth, they've only lost they lost to QPR at home. But other than that, the results have been fairly good since January. Since New Year's Day, they've been quite good. 3 draws, then the QPR one, then the Burnley one, a draw against Sunderland away, and then West Brom at home. There is very slight hope, and if I were a Plymouth fan, I would be clinging onto it for dear life, just so I don't go insane. I still don't think they'll stay up. West Brom, I've got no idea what's happening. I do not know what is wrong with this team. Apart from the Portsmouth game, but Portsmouth again are very Plymouth away from home. They're just shocking, aren't they? So that were just a 3-8 really for goal difference. They're not scoring enough goals recently, but that is what happens when you want an only goal threat realistically is injured. Madge's been out for 5 games. They've scored 1, none. Obviously they got the Portsmouth one, but that don't count, and 1 again. They're not scoring enough goals when Madge are into team. He's got 12 so far this season, out of what, a potential 39. He's got almost a third of the goals on himself, Madge, a striker. Which is what you'd expect from your forward. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that you wouldn't expect goals from your striker. But not enough players are chipping in, and it has been a problem all season for West Brom. And if they don't get in to playoffs, we're a good squad, in fairness, and a very good manager in Mowbray now. You would blame it on a lack of goals or a lack of players that can score goals. What we got next? Watford 0, Norwich 1. The only thing I want to say about this game is that Josh Sargent is the best striker in this division. And I'm going to say quite comfortably. He is ridiculous. Been injured for ages. Comes back. He come off bench 3 games. Didn't really do anything. In his last 2 starts, 2 goals against Swansea and 1 against Watford. 3 goals in 2 starts. He's got 12 goal contributions in 16 games. Last season he got 16 goals. Do you know what I mean? He's only 24. It's deadline day today, and they're not going to sell him unless some freakish bid comes in from like a Southampton or a, I don't know, a Leicester, somebody that vibe. And it's 2 wins on bounce. Norwich up to 8th. telling you, West Brom's lack of goals might be the reason they don't get in. Norwich's goals, Sargent, Borges Sands, the two freaks that they've got in an attacking position, might be the reason that they end up getting in. Derby 0, Sheffield United 1. I'm so bored of talking about Sheffield United because from what I've seen, again, it looked fairly even against the Derby side. They're absolutely horrendous. Sheffield United they just don't play well, ever, and just keep winning constantly. Maybe I've got a different view on this to what actually happened, because from my point of view, it looked fairly even this. Maybe Sheffield United did just dominate start to finish and thoroughly deserve a win. But every time I watch this team, they play crap and win. I can't be bothered anymore. I'm just moving on. Derby, though, I did predict a 1-0 Derby, so I got the score right at least. They're shit. They're in big trouble, especially with Cashin going as well. That's the majority of the reason that anybody sort of thought the Derby could stay up is probably the defensive record and some of the defenders being quite good. Cashin going to Brighton is just wiped out your best player, regardless of who they bring in. It's struggle town for Derby. Hull won Stoke too. How Hull haven't won this game, from what I've seen, no idea. It was just, all highlights were just Hull, and then Stoke have had 2 chances really and scored. Definitely needed for Stoke, because they've not won in like a while, have they, in league? They've not won since December in league against Sunderland. They're joined a lot of games, which is fair enough. They're harder to beat, obviously, apart from the Portsmouth one. But they did need that, I think, from a confidence point of view, that we can win games, you know what I mean? And Hull's home record continues. I don't know why. I really, really don't know why. Because Sellers has made them harder to beat. Obviously, we've seen that away from home with the results away. They've been really, really good away since he's come back. But their home form stinks. And obviously, I guess we're at a point now where you're not that bothered about performances and you're more just bothered about results all the time. I mean, Sheffield United have been bothered about results and not performances all year. But it's like, you don't care how you play now. Just give me some points. We need to stay in this division. I don't care how we perform. Give me some points. And Hull aren't getting it, but at least the performances are there. Like, maybe if this was start of the season, you're like, all right, they've lost this game 2-1. Don't really mean anything. We've only just got started. But the performances are there. We're looking good. Very Barnsley vibes. But the results aren't there at home for Hull. And they'd need to be. Because aside from the 3 that are currently in bottom, the 3 that are in relegation zone right now, Luton are showing like some signs of life with Bloomfield. I don't know who goes down. And that ain't a good position to be in when you're one at sides that can't win at home. I think they'll be fine. Don't get me wrong, I think they'll be fine. You add Louis Barry to this team, obviously didn't start, but he'll start next game, definitely. Then you're going to have some goals in you, aren't you? And if you keep creating them chances, you're going to be fine. But that home form is going to turn around fast. Leeds 7-0. 5 expected goals. I've said for a while, and I think everybody knows it anyway, in Championship, Leeds away is a free hit. Basically, everybody loses non-stop. You're just going and keeping your goal difference down. Cardiff have just gone, and that's it. I honestly don't know, because they've got none at ball, they've had no shots, they weren't defensively solid, they've just been absolutely torn a new arsehole start to finish. That is embarrassing. And I guess with it being 2-0 at half-time, Cardiff managers maybe thought, all right, we're still in this. Let's go and try and be a bit more open. Let's play up front foot a little bit. And then they've just been cock-slapped by 5 goals in the second half. Everybody on pitch, horrendous for Cardiff, as you'd expect. Melier and dropped a clanger for once, mainly because I don't think he's touched ball once. But this team is ridiculous. This Leeds team, honestly, it's crazy. It's criminal that this is allowed in Championship, a team this good, and a bench that's coming off. Look at the players off that bench. Stuart, Matteo Joseph, Ramazani, Nonto, Brahim. They'd all start for every other team in league. Literally all of them would start for every other team in league. It is crazy the depth that these have got. Form, yeah. I mean, these will have won league with a few games to spare. I think Leeds, definitely. Only conceded 19 goals all season. They're up to 60. They're averaging 2 goals a game. It's freaky. A 41 goal difference is mad. Cardiff have been in good form, so I won't really worry about this too much. Yeah, it's going to be a massive confidence booster, and they might pay for it like next game as well. I can't remember who it is. But you think they're going to be shot for confidence for the next game, and they might lose that as well. But I won't worry too much. I think they've shown a lot of fight these in last couple of months, apart from that game. Millwall, fuck 'em all. We love all like that. Kundal scores on his debut. Baller. That Ivanovic is playing well as well recently. Obviously didn't score today, or yesterday, or Saturday even. But his performances are looking quite good for a young'un. He's gonna make him a lot of money. Connolly, told you there were a player in there. He scored after about 25 seconds. And QPR again. Performances are there. Same as they have been in basically all the losses so far this season. Apart from Wednesday, they look quite poor. But the performances are there. They've just not got the squad really to match it. Like, Cifuentes is definitely the biggest asset. He's one of the best managers in the league. I'm convinced. Very, very good performance again. But it's just the know-how in it that Millwall and like Alex Neil have got in this league. 3 wins on bounce. Obviously, they've pulled the centre away from any sort of danger that Millwall was sort of creeping into a little bit, especially when Roman Esse left. If Tanganga goes today, there could be in some serious hot shit, because I saw that Sheffield United are looking at him, but I doubt they'd splash out like 10 million quid plus that Millwall would want for him. So we're now looking at top end again for Millwall and QPR, in fairness. Millwall 4 points off playoffs. Will they get in? No, because I think they've got same curse as Bristol City where they're not allowed in. But this is two... I would say this is 2 top half teams by the time it's done. I could see these finishing like 12th, 11th-ish. Both of these. Which I think they'll both take, to be honest. Portsmouth 0, Burnley 0. Classic. And then Wednesday 1, Luton 1. Someone get roll out this club now. He's scaring me with his performances. How Luton have snagged this? No. I'm sorry, no. At least Mads is back. Go on, the boy. Smith comes off bench to score again. Yeah, it's a penalty, but he's just like... He's such a good forward, him. I mean, they need a striker, don't they? Obviously, they splashed out on Ugbo. Oh, is shit. I think they got the Barnsley Ugbo when they've bought him. Obviously, we're playing for a contract last season. He's got his 20 grand a week or whatever it is. I think it's more than that, actually. But if memory does serve, Ugbo, Windass, Bannon at top 3 earners, and I think they're all on like touching 30, if I remember that properly. In fact, no, Bannon's on 60, isn't he, actually? But yeah, they need a striker. Ugbo's shit. Lowe's shit. Windass ain't a striker, but he's being like plopped up there anyway because he's probably only attacking-minded player that can put ball in net. Apart from Smith, who ain't got the minutes in him to play every game, or start every game at least. They need a striker. If they get one, I could get a little bit worried. But we don't need a striker, you know what I mean? Get in line, bro. We've needed a striker for about 6 years. I'll tell you what, let me just put this one out. You swap Carlton Morris with Lowe here. If you put Morris in this Wednesday team, these would definitely get top 6. I'll put it that way. You put a serious number 9 in this Wednesday team, then I am getting nervous. Luton have done well to grind a point out there because the performance obviously was not there, but they're not winning enough games. And this, I mean, the 2 points off getting out now, it's getting a little bit worrying. Obviously, they've signed Asgard from Wigan. He hasn't really had a chance to prove himself yet. If they get Kone today from Wickham, I'll be convinced that they're staying up because that bloke is like R9. But yeah, they need some help, Luton. They need some incomings quite fast, or they're doing a Sunderland and they're doing double bounce backwards. Another team that could be going down is Swansea. They have lost 2-0 at home to Coventry. Grimes has obviously left. He's gone to Coventry. He's not even played, but Coventry still run out 2-0 winners fairly easily. The goal from Thomas Asante, if you've not seen it, watch it after this, after you've liked and subscribed. Thank you very much. I don't know why he's gone for it, but that's a great finish. That is serious prime Coca-Cola man energy. Great goal. I feel that one from Sims as well is taken well. Defensively very good. I mean, Coventry were just better side start to finish. But Swansea have got more at ball. So who will get the better job out of these two managers? The one that's won 2-0 and is very efficient, or the one that passes it round the back? Luke Williams, welcome to Southampton, baby. Lampshade is a right gaffer. I'm sorry, no one gives that man the credit that he deserves. What they done since he's come in? Well, I'm looking at it, it's just all green. It's all green. 5 wins on bounce, conceding very little goals. They gave me very Birmingham vibes, very efficient, not scoring loads, but just doing enough to get off a line quite comfortably at majority of games. They've got good depth. Apart from the attacking injuries that they've got in Mason Clark and Adji Wright, I don't think they've got anything else. No, it is just them two at minute. And they're still scoring goals without them two. So, where are they in league? You know what? We've done it now, haven't we? So let's have a look at league. They're up to 11th. 3 points off. Why did I not lump on? When Lampard took the job, I should have lumped on. No one could tell me I did not see this coming. Coventry have flown up table. So have Norwich. I'm sorry. I said both of these two teams like a month ago that when your players come back, clip that shit. I know what I want about with everything but Barnsley. I think that's where I'm at. And Yorkshire teams in general. Maybe I'm quite biased with Yorkshire, but everything else. Yeah, Plymouth, despite that win, good on them, boys. I hope you do it, but you're not going to do. Luton, trouble, unless they make some good signings today. Derby, I mean, they need to sack Paul Warren for a start, because players just clearly aren't interested anymore. They do not score anywhere near enough goals. Now that the best defender's gone, they're going to have trouble back there as well, even though they have brought in like Clark and players like that. They've strengthened quite well defensively. But they need goals. They're not going enough. Hull's home form's horrendous and needs changing. Portsmouth's away form's horrendous and needs changing. That could be the reason that any of these two get dragged in. So Cardiff, despite the 7-0, I think will be fine. Stoke will be fine. Swansea could be in trouble, especially with like Harry Darling, 6 months left on his contract. Could definitely see a bid coming in for him today. They need midfielders after Grimes has gone. They're looking at like Phillips and Connell both from Barnsley, Kipriano at Peterborough, Sheehan at Bolton. Some Man City lad I think they paid 4 million quid for, or bid 4 million quid for. They need midfielders in fast, or they will be in serious shit. Oxford are fine. All these lads are just going to sit at middle doing now. Bristol City will do now. I think Blackburn... Oh, Blackburn won 2-1 against Preston on Friday night. I forgot about that. That's a big win. In a derby, when Blackburn have been quite poor recently, that's a very big win. Sorry, I forgot that happened. But yeah, Wednesday, if they get a striker in today, could mean business. But Coventry and Norwich, I think, are on track maybe to try and jump in. Middlesbrough are obviously playing Sunderland tonight, which we're doing a watch-along for. So be here 10 to 8 because we're doing a watch-along for Middlesbrough Sunderland, and then we see it transfer window out because that finished at 11. I've got some tinnies. You ready? Right. And then top 4, obviously we can't speak about Sunderland yet. Burnley have broken the record for most nil-nils in a season ever, and we've only just got into February. Sheffield United are crap but keep winning, and Leeds will win the league. Let's get in League One. Oh, yes. Yes. Barnsley 0, Burton 0. Get me past that shit. Get me straight to Stevenage. I do not want to talk about them ever again. Stevenage 4, Exeter 1, baby. These boys. Playoffs? Question mark? Let's have a look. Oh, well, the 3 points behind Barnsley with 2 games in hand. Stevenage. They went 1-0 down in second minute. If that ain't character, I don't know what is. Defensively, obviously still very, very, very strong. Just freakishly good defence, these. And now they're putting goals on the other end of it, bro. I'm telling you, 1 there, 3 against Wrexham. Like, we'd won the last 2 games at home before these. And we shit at home anyway. But they come and bet us. They go to Wrexham who haven't lost at home since League 2. And they've done double on Wrexham. 4 goals against Exeter. Oh, Exeter are in shit form and they're conceding a lot. But still, you've got to do it, haven't you? Really, really good wins. And really good performances as well. It's not like they're just scraping by. They deservedly bet us. They deservedly bet Wrexham. They've definitely deserved to win this. And just to quickly talk about Exeter, because I've just sucked Stephen and just dick for the last minute. Exeter could be in trouble. Seriously, because we'll come on to this, but all at bottom sides are picking up points. And it is going to be a season, this one, I am telling you, where there might be 1 or 2 sides maybe that go down that you did not expect to be going down at all when season started. And these could be one of them. Really, really poor. The amount of goals that they're conceding recently is criminal. Like 3 there, 6, 4 against, what, Blackpool, Leyton Orient, Stevenage. You're not playing Birmingham, Huddersfield, Bolton. You know what I mean? You're not playing them sort of sides. Speaking of, in fact, why did I say Birmingham? They're just immune to scoring goals. Birmingham 2, Rotherham 1. Yes, they've won again. And at the end of the day, that is all that matters. But these could have a problem, mainly next season. We're not scoring enough goals. Pardon me. I knew that Steve Evans would get him up for this as well, because like nobody scored in 44, so they were 1-0 up at half time. But then you know exactly what's coming, don't you, with someone like Steve Evans, or any side really away at Rotherham this season. They've just shut up shop as soon as they've come out. Not touched ball, not had a shot, just been pending your own half for an entire half. What do you expect? You just keep inviting pressure. I do not know why managers instill this. Like, obviously, it's still a psychological thing for players, because anybody that's ever played football in your life could tell you, you're going to start defending a lead if you're playing against a good side. That's fair enough. But to do it to this extent, where you're literally not getting out your own box for an entire half, you've got to at least pump it out. Like, just launch it to their corner flag and get out. Just get out. Just survive for like 5 minutes. You're going to be knackered if you're constantly defending. And that is eventually what got them. They're just tired. Stupid penalty to go away. Stansfield's obviously scored 2. But again, I'm going to bring it back to a problem that I've got with Birmingham, which is that they are not scoring enough goals. The forward players that these have got, they should be winning this game by 4. Rotherham's defence is shit. Across board, Rotherham in general are just quite poor. You've got to be putting these to sword. You know what I mean? You've got to score some goals against these and get your goal difference up. I know in grand scheme of things it means nothing and they're still just chipping away at winning every week. But if they go into next season with this sort of attitude, they will not finish as high as you would expect them to, despite spending £30 million in this league. They've got a very, very, very good squad. Ridiculously good for this level. It is the best League One 11 that I've ever seen in my life when they can put the best one out easily. I still think the Ipswich team is definitely better than this, and the Ipswich team over here would slap these silly, and I'm not joking. But the 11 that these have got, it's crazy. The depth that these have got is crazy. As a squad, it is the best that I've seen. But they're not scoring enough goals, and they need to start doing it. You know, it's not exactly a bad habit to have, is it? Scoring more than 2 goals a game. They've got 46 in 27. And then you can say to me, yeah, well, it's second most goals in the league. It's only behind Wickham. Yeah, but look at the money. Context, please. Look at the money that they've spent. Look at the squad that they've got. Look at the strikers that they've brought in. The top goal scorer from last year from Charlton, a side that did not, and a £15 million forward from Fulham, who's been on loan last season at Championship. I don't know. I do feel, obviously, they will 100% stay up when they get promoted. But this squad has got the capabilities of, like, trying to do a maybe in Ipswich. Not to that extent of going straight up, but maybe they could flirt with playoffs. They will not do it if they're not scoring enough goals. Blackpool 2, Charlton 2. I mean, it's a good point. Both of these are still really, really good on form, aren't they? Like, Charlton obviously lost these two here. But Nathan Jones vibe, very difficult to beat apart from the Rotherham one. There's no, like, they're not getting thumped. Do you know what I mean? They're a very well-drilled, organised side with Nathan Jones. Blackpool haven't lost in a while either, but they're drawing too many games. Even though Charlton have leapfrogged us now, and Charlton is 7th, it's a really good point for them, in fairness. Blackpool won't get in. Charlton, you could maybe see something. Maybe, because it's a really, really shit league. Huddersfield have been taken from, like, what was a top 4 that have pulled away. They've just fallen off a cliff by losing last 3 on bounce. So now, even though Stockport have won 4 in a row, you may be looking at a top 3 instead with Wrexham, and Huddersfield have just dropped off. These playoff spots from Stockport now, I think, are just there for anybody. I do think Huddersfield are staying still. They're there for absolutely anybody to take, because this league across the board is wank. Blackpool, will they get in? No. Charlton, you've got a chance. Defensively, very, very good. See what they do today, because you never know. You know what I mean? It's alright me saying all this now at 9:30 on deadline day. 12 hours time, everything could look completely different. But I'd say it's a good draw for both, probably a better one for Charlton. Cambridge 1, Wycombe 1. I mean, it's a good draw for Cambridge, but you could have maybe said they should have won game when you take context into it. Obviously, Wycombe were 1-0 up, as you'd probably expect it at half-time. Sonny Bradley got a straight red card, and then Cambridge missed penalty. But then they still had half an hour against 10 men. Obviously, they got the equaliser in 83rd, but you would still probably expect him to score. They had a very, very good save from Wycombe's keeper very late on, which Cambridge could have probably been a little bit more clinical with. Really good save from that Revizzoli. Draw, probably a fair result. Looking at it, obviously, you've got to take into account that a penalty is part of that expected goals and everything. So a draw is probably a fair result. Coney is ill. We all know what that means. Come on. Anybody that supports a side that in one of 6 in this country, your player's ill for match day before end at deadline day, you're in trouble. Whether he goes or not is a completely different thing. Either way, Wycombe in such a good position now, with being deadline day, and the best player is very sought after. Very, very good position to be in. You've obviously stood firm ground saying, we are not selling this bloke, turning down massive bids, £6-7 million, which I think is crazy for... We have this happen to us, so don't take offence to it. Clubs like Wycombe, to turn down £7 million is absolutely batshit mental. But at the same time, is it genius? Because now, if they actually want him, you're paying £10 million if you want to take his best player. It's deadline day. We can't replace him in time, even though they've definitely got a lineup just ready in case, like everybody would. So they either keep best striker in league until the rest of the season, at least, and then get more money for him in summer, or they'll probably get £10 million today. Very, very good position that they're finding themselves in Wycombe. Cambridge, obviously, we'll look at this a lot more at the end when we're looking at league in general, because a lot of these sides have took points. That is a good one. Like I said, they probably should and could have won, but that is a good point. You'd have took it before the game started. All these sides are sort of picking points up now, so there's a few sides that could be a little bit of... There could have been a spot of bother, and I do think Cambridge will still go down, but they're giving themselves a little bit of a fighting chance with 4 points in the last 3 games. There's some results here, man, I'm telling you. Crawley 1, Wrexham 2. They've done it again. Let's talk about this guy first. Matty James, baller. Out of all signings that these have made, this one seriously impressed me most. Like, they sign a lot of old boys. They sign a lot of boys that's got like 30 minutes in the legs at most. It's not sustainable when they get into Championship. They will have no chance of getting out of that league by doing this sort of recruitment. Absolutely no chance. But in this league, which is what they're in now, so who cares? Very, very good business. James, mate, that bloke is a Rolls Royce. He's technically fantastic. He just does simple stuff non-stop. I feel like only idiots can't appreciate how good of a player he actually is. You know, people that expect every midfielder to just do the same thing. You've got to bomb forward and score goals. Not every midfielder's like that, you know what I mean? He just sits in 6, sprays balls about non-stop, just controls tempo at game easily. Very, very good player. Smith and Rodriguez both straight in and starting. How many strikers they got Wrexham? About 9. They'd probably all start for Barnsley, and these are a semi-pro team. But I know for a fact somebody will bite at that. No, it's a really good win. Seriously, really, really good win. 90+5, Elliot Lee. Out smallest man in University scored an ender, I don't know. It's just a bit soft from Crawley. Obviously got the equaliser at 90th, and they just switched off, haven't they, straight away. Bit soft, bit slack. Signs are a side that probably will go down, in fairness. Wrexham are still chipping away. Like, obviously their away form is horrendous, but hold on, what's this? Like, their A form's 13th best in league, and the form for like 10 games really is not good. But getting Limeborough, Bolton, Huddersfield, Wrexham, Barnsley, we're all shit, man. Really good win for Wrexham, really, really good win. I do think if we can keep Coney today, they will go up in second. But Wrexham's, it could be them for playoffs. I do think that it would be too soon for them to go up, in fairness, because I don't think it'll do your documentary rate good if they get relegated straight away from Championship, which I'm not being funny, they definitely would with this squad. If you go up, happy days, happy for proper fans that are there. But you cannot survive with this team in Championship. It is a different ball game altogether, man. It's a different world now, the difference between these leagues. Speaking of, in fairness, Leyton Orient, 0 Stockport 1. This is a really, really good game. Before this looked a great game. Do you know what I mean? This is two sides that are banging form. Two sides that have both come up recently as well. Leyton Orient come up like 2 years ago, did they? And the form that they both are in, it's mental. Obviously, look, the 4th and 6th for these. Anybody wants to talk about, like, this clump of sides here, Barnsley, Bolton, Reading, Charlton, Huddersfield, 5 ex-Prem sides, all some bigger sides in division, you'd say. Stockport and Leyton Orient, boys. Have that. Good on them. Both defensively, really, really good. Stockport's defence, I'm massively impressed with. Like, they're very, very good. To just come up from League 2 and still have that defensive record is shit hot. And the goal, it's scrappy, but it's very, very good forward play from this Wootton to just be in there straight away on bounce and tap it in. It's what best strikers do, and it score easy goals. Really good finish that. And they saw it out well. I'm going there on Saturday, Stockport. Half 12 kick-off away. Sky. Oh no. This. Oh no. But you know what? If I know my club, and I think I do, taking away complete bias, we're going to beat these on Saturday, I'm telling you. We are shit. These are in mint form. It's destined. This is Barnsley all over to go and win this, like 2-1. I hope Leyton Orient, for their sake, don't get too disheartened by this, because it is only one loss, you know what I mean? They lost in Stevenage Cup, but other than that, they've been in ridiculous form for ages, Leyton Orient. Don't let it get to you too much. Don't let it affect you. Again, sides like this, to get 12 hours, could be in a completely different position. But honestly, from a Stockport point of view, if anything, I would expect them to strengthen because of how good their owners are, and the higher-ups and everything that they've got at that club, I will kill someone for at mine. Really good going, Stockport. And 4 wins up bounce. 9 points off. Let's not talk daft, but they're chipping away nicely. Northampton through Huddersfield 2, you know. And Northampton were 3-0 up. I did honestly think that Huddersfield had pull it back. I'm not going to lie to you. When they scored this one at 82nd, I thought, 15 minutes left here. You just know what's coming. But they've lost. I've seen a lot of Huddersfield fans calling for Duff said. 3 losses on mount against Bolton and Birmingham, who were 2 of your better sides, and then Northampton, who were scrapping down at bottom, but have at least got the fate in them, which probably a lot of sides don't. You know what it is, Wade? Players at bigger sides in this division, I'm telling you, and this is across board, apart from like Birmingham, I feel like we've all got players that just think they're better than what they are. I really do. I think a lot of these players think, well, we should be in Championship, and they're all such mangy babies, like, we should be in Championship, what we're in this division for, and they don't put graft in against a side like Northampton because they're immediate forties. We're going to win this easy. It's like Sunday League mindset. Well, these are shit and we're good, so we should go and win. And then you get spanked because they want to try more than you. If you're not going to put hard yards in, if you're not going to graft, you're not going to win games, and you're not going to get out of this league, and your wage ain't going to get doubled. So start grafting. These strikers, since they've come in to Huddersfield, have been embarrassing. Obviously, Taylor got injured, but Charles, I expect a shed load more from him, and he's looked shit since he's gone here. Again, you've got to give the boy time, but 4 games and he's played shit in them all. So, do you think it's right to call for Duff said? No, because believe me, if it's not this year, he will get you out of this division. He will get you out of this division, I promise you. If we'd have had him, like, say if he wouldn't have gone to Swansea and he'd have stayed here, we'd have smashed that league last year, I'm telling you. He's a very good manager, and know how it works. But at the same time, no, because the performances are there. At the end of the day, you can only work what you've got, can't you? And if you've got a squad of big, fat, mangy babies, some of them got custard veins, then I don't know what you expect. I don't think you can blame Duff for some of these results. To be fair, I think you've got to look at your players, because it's exactly what I'm doing with Barnsley, so I can't say one thing for us and not for other. Really good win for Northampton. Keeps that little bit of a distance there, but you've got to keep chipping away, man, I'm telling you, because these are all going to start picking up points. Reading 1, Bolton 0 is very, very good. Again, Bolton fans, I'm seeing like Everton now saying Randall's shit, Collins is shit, Adebayo's shit, Sheehan's head's gone. Like, again, similar vibes to what I've just said. I think a lot of these players genuinely think they're better than what they are, because the gap now, or let's put it this way, the standard at top end of League One gets better, I would say, or the players and personnel that are in this league and the money that they're going for. As you've seen, like Exeter have sold a midfielder for like £1.5 million. Wigan sold the midfielder for free. Wickham turning down £7 million bid. You know what I mean? A lot of players in this division now are very good. So I think they're probably thinking, well, I'm one of these players. And a lot of these, I'm telling you, are not. They've got a good squad. Do not get me wrong. They've got a very good squad for this division, Bolton. But personnel-wise, seriously, it wouldn't surprise me if these are some of them boys that I'm talking about thinking they're way too good for what they are. Reading just playing on pure vibes and fumes. Good on them, lads. They've won after 4 straight losses. And they're still above us, so... Shrewsbury 2, Mansfield 1. Whoever that guy is, someone commented on my tweet. I had a tweet out about Barnsley and someone was like, at least your Shrewsbury prediction's right, lol. When Mansfield were 1-0 up and Shrewsbury got a man sent off. That one's for you, dickhead. I am telling you now. I'm telling you. Gareth Ainsworth is going to keep them up. Red card in 34th minute. Who's bothered? 10 men for the entire second half against a decent side. Yeah, they're in really shit form, but a decent side nonetheless. Yep, who's bothered? 2-1 win. Thank you very much. What has happened to Mansfield, though? 5 losses in a row. What is going on? They're not scoring enough, are they? They're not scoring enough goals. Like, 1 there, 2 there, 1 there. But then no goals against, like, Wigan at home, Crawley at home. And you think goals would be the least of the problems. Like, Gregory and Evans stood up front. You would think that they're scoring goals. Defensively, you'd think they're always going to be sound because it's a Nigel Clough team. I'm not sure what's happening. And I'm not going to talk like an idiot. They're not going to go down. Do you know what I mean? But 4 losses in a row in league. You've very quickly gone from being looking at playoffs more or less all year to now like, what's that below us? They're creeping up a little bit. Shrewsbury win. They're now 7 points from getting out. We'll come back to it at the end. In fact, we'll just come back to it now, actually, because Wigan and Lincoln have drawn, but I'm not overly bothered. In fact, no, because we've got Bristol Rovers and Peterborough on this Sunday. Why this for a Sunday? No idea. But one of these sides has got experience, and the other side has not, and that is going to make the difference, baby. Bristol Rovers 3, Peterborough 1. Half of this team I've never seen before this year. I've literally not seen half of these players before this year. I don't know where they get them from, Peterborough. What's form looking like recently for like last 10? Peterborough bottom at league. Last 15, Peterborough bottom 4. Last 20, Peterborough bottom 4. They've been shit for a long, long time this season. And I'll tell you what, today's a big day for everybody. But this is make or break for Peterborough. And to be fair, it's for the future of this club. Because if they, say if they sell Ricky J. Jones or something today, or more importantly, if they don't bring some experienced defenders in today, I am serious, these are going to go down. They will. These are going to get relegated. Cambridge are getting more points than them. Shrewsbury definitely going to get more points than them. Crawley, I think, are shit in fairness. Burton, no loss in 5. Northampton are winning games. Bristol Rovers are bet you. Obviously, looking at like Exeter that are in really shit form as well. Wigan are quite poor, but you'd think of going enough to stay up, regardless of how that Asgard's gone, just based on the fact the defence is still very good. These are in trouble. No experience, especially from a defensive point of view. Load of kids that just aren't good enough. Very similar to us. I think we're just a couple years in front of them. Be an interesting day, that's for sure. I wish I could see Peter Brazona's tweets so I could have a laugh, but he's blocked me, the gimp. Let's have a look at this now. Right, I'm going to start with bottom teams. Obviously, I've just like touched base on it there. But everything from like Exeter down is in trouble. Wigan, like I just said, I think it'll be fine just based on the defence being really, really good. Exeter's form is shocking. It is horrendously bad. And they're only 7 points in front of it. They could definitely be dragged into it. But you think that they're not going to lose any of the best players. Bristol Rovers, I don't think will lose any of the best players. Maybe the keeper could potentially go. He's very good. But I think they'll be fine as well. Peterborough, you never know. Cipriano could go. Ricky J. Jones could go. They could keep everybody. They could bring people in. You never know with Peterborough, do you? But they need players and fast, or they're in shit, man. Aside that he's just constantly like a top 8er in this division. You more or less expect him to be in playoffs all the time, don't you? Sold all the players that have got a pulse in summer. Obviously, they kept Poku and players like that, but he'll be going in summer anyway. So, they got rid of their entire defence, really, and brought a full new one in. And they've conceded most goals in division because of it. What do you expect? Like, just write this season off before it even started and think, right, give me 2 years with these players. We might have a go at playoffs, and then if we don't go up, we'll sell them all and start again, and so on and so on. They could be in shit. Northampton have got some good players as well, so I think they could be okay. But I'm struggling now with what I think. Burton, we should have bet Burton, in fairness. They didn't look as good as I thought they were going to look. We should have definitely won. But at the same time, we ain't got a striker in the entire club. We've got a winger and a centre mid stood up front. So, thank you, Barnsley. Let's see what we do tonight. That'll be a laugh. Cambridge, I don't think will get out, to be fair. I think Cambridge and Crawley could be done. Shrewsbury and Burton, I think, will get out, though. So, that is bad news bears for Northampton, Peterborough, Bristol Rovers and Exeter. Because I never get anything wrong, clearly. We're shit. Our season's slowly whittling out into nothing. Because the owner's absolute crooks. And sell everything that moves. and line the pockets with it and reinvest none of it. I don't even know what to say anymore. I don't know what to say. Birmingham are going to win league. Depending on if Coney's there or not, I'm like quite convinced that Wickham will go up in second anyway. And then playoffs. It's anyone's game. To be fair, I'm past point of caring because this club is going to make me tightrope soon. But regardless, tonight will be a good old laugh, so I hope I see you there. Thank you as always for watching. Hope you all make sure you like and subscribe, please. Kiss. City.
I say I'm a man, yes, I'm a mucker. I think of me saying as a right good looker. I say up that. Show us the tits.